Okay, I guess we're live right now. Let me go ahead and turn my phone on, I guess, silent, right? Let me get the water right here. So, tonight's topic, you guys are going to hear a baby in the background. I got my niece over here. My niece is definitely in the building. She's not in the live stream, but she's in the building for sure. And she's doing her baby thing. So, she'll be the background music tonight, which is all good. You know what I mean? And just for the fact that there's a baby in the background, it kind of goes along with tonight's topic as we talk about do incels, um, like are they in the trucking community? So this is my life on video, this YouTube channel. I'm trying to break out of trucking. It's going to probably take a year to rework my channel into just a regular vlogging channel. I'll lose some subscribers for sure. My growth will stagnate, but not all truckers are incels. I'll say that for sure. Obviously, I mean, truck drivers. The average truck driver is a married man with kids and a mortgage and a family and car payments. That's why they're out driving a truck, right? But at the same time, one reason why I stopped trucking, and like I said, trucking has been a big part of my life, and I'm trying to rework my channel away from trucking, but I mean, I've been doing this shit for the past like almost 3 years now, and the job I got now is a local trucking job, but it's local. I definitely got my life back, right? The other night, I did like this horrible live stream. The quality was just terrible. That's why I deleted it. And I went out to this restaurant. It wasn't really like a date. I just wanted to go see this chick that I know that works there. So it was kind of like a half-ass date. I just wanted to go let her know, like, hey, girl, I'm back, right? That's it. Um, how to? I'm 31. I'm 31 years old. But so when I was truck driving, one reason why I left that job, especially over the road truck driving, I was on a dedicated account too, where I was in California and I was pretty much living in Bakersfield, but in my truck at work. Um, I just I didn't like the fact that I was living in the truck and I was kind of isolated from society. Now, when we talk about incels are a group of young men. For those who don't know what an incel is, they're a group of mainly young men um, who spend a lot of their time on the internet. If you ever hear like a troll bringing up Reddit, they're most likely an incel. Now, there was um, a page, a web page. It's pretty much what Reddit is. It's just web pages of chat rooms. And if you ask me, if you got enough time in your day to be in a chat room, I guess a comment section is kind of like a chat room, but on a site like Reddit, when it's just words. And if you have enough time to be in a chat room, I mean, you just have too much time on your hands. You need to go out and live life, and that's what these incels don't do. A lot of these incels, they isolate themselves from society, and because of that, their main thing is they fail with women, right? A lot of them are virgins, and they blame it on women, and they're very narcissistic and like egotistical. They're just guys that are either just bad people or just lost and confused. And why I say they're narcissistic is because they think they're entitled to sex from a woman, which is crazy, which is nuts, right? I mean, you're not entitled to anything, but to sit back and say that you're entitled to, a woman's body just because you're a man, that is fucking insane. That is crazy. And um, that's what these incels believe. That's what they push. And they get into weird shit. The red pill community on YouTube is definitely a part of the incel community. The red pill community, they're kind of smart because they take advantage of these incels. Guys like Fresh and Fit, Richard Cooper. Now, guys like Fresh and Fit and Richard Cooper, I wouldn't say Fresh and Fit. What they do is they build a platform which is pretty much like a business, and they exploit these incels. They get them to tune into their shows, which makes them money, and they go to other sites like Rumble and Patreon, where they literally pay these content creators like Richard Cooper, Fresh and Fit, the whole gang. We all know who the big red pill YouTubers are, and they put videos behind a paywall, and they sell them other videos behind a paywall. I mean, all of course is it's a video behind a paywall. Yeah, I'm still right here at my dad's house. I'm gonna be looking for a room like next month. I want to get like 3 or 4 checks under my belt, but yeah, I'm still right here for now. And like I said, I'm going to get to the comments right now. But like I said, the red pill YouTubers, they take advantage of these kids, of these and adults, these incels. They pretty much give them like a pacifier and like a pat on the back, like, oh, it's okay, it's not your fault. You know, it's these women nowadays. These women, they're just horrible. That's why they're not sleeping with you. But yeah, you're entitled to a woman because you're a man, and women are supposed to do this, that, and the third. And since I've started my YouTube channel, every now and then, um, especially when I had this one guy on my, the only other person that I've had on the live stream right now, I'm trying to get my friend to come on, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to get people to come on the show, right? You know what I'm saying? Either they live hella far, or they're always busy. And I get it. I get it. People live life, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is when I had this other person on the YouTube channel, I'm looking at the comments, and the comments are distracting me. I'm going to get to the comments right now, guys. I am. But I had this other person on a live stream, and there was a bunch of like red pillars that came in, a bunch of like, well, not a bunch. There was. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. There was a lot of his supporters that came in. They just flooded the chat, and it pretty much doubled the views, right? And turns out this guy was a red pillar, and then that exposed that I did have like red pill people watching my channel, which are pretty much like incels. You know what I'm saying? And so this community is big. Like, I'm not a big YouTuber, but just for the fact that they're watching like my little ass right here on YouTube, that just lets you know that their numbers are big. And the thing about these guys is every now and then they have the tendency to act out in violence. And think about this. Like, we all know about Elliot Rodger, one of them from Canada. He ran his van through a group of people like in a downtown area, and it was like an attack towards women in society. I mean, these guys are just fucking nuts, right? And trucking, it kind of fits their whole identity if you think about it. Now, not every trucker is an incel, but we have to talk about this, right? I mean, I'm a CDL holder. Most of my content on my channel revolves around trucking. Imagine an incel behind the wheel of a semi truck. Now, that thing is like a weapon. You know what I mean? Now, say they're going out on one of their revenge things, right? Oh, I'm going to get revenge on society today. And they're in a semi truck, dude. And with that being said, I'll get to these comments right now. Let's see. Yes, they are incels. Not all truck drivers are incels, but there are incels, definitely. I mean, I've met a few, and I've seen, like I said, I see this shit every now and then pop up on my live streams and on some of my comments. Right? I used to work at a Blue Beacon Trucking Wash, and most drivers are miserable people. Um, not all, but most. Now, just because you're miserable, that doesn't mean that you're an incel, right? An incel is someone who, dude, I got like a sore throat. I don't know if you guys can hear it. My whole family was sick. I was sick about like 2 weeks ago, no, almost maybe about 3 weeks ago now with the cold. It went away. They all got sick, and I think I got it now. Like, I'm just getting over it. Like, I feel like I got like mucus in my throat and shit. It's disgusting, right? And like a dry throat. I mean, I might have COVID. Who knows? But anyways, just because you're miserable, it doesn't mean that you're an incel. Now, an incel is someone who is most likely unhappy, right? They're most likely miserable, right? I'll say that. But there's a lot of other like boxes we have to check off before we call someone an incel. Trolls online, they throw that incel word around like it's an insult because no one wants to be labeled that. But a true incel is someone, number one, they're mad at women, right? They have like this hostility towards women and really against like single mothers. Now, why I think that is because number one, that's what they hear in the content that they consume, and they're probably products of a single mom, and they think their failure with women is because that they were raised by a single mom, so they're like blaming mom. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is all my mom's fault. I didn't, like they're yearning for a dad, and then you see it, but like they look at Fresh and Fit, and like all of these like Andrew Tate, and they literally call these guys, "Oh, you're the dad I never had." And it's just, it's just fucking crazy, right? So the whole single mom thing is because um, that's number two. They're mad at women and they're mad at single moms is because most of them are products of single moms, and they have hatred towards their single mom because they think she's the reason why they're a failure with women in life, right? So those two boxes need to be checked, right? And if it's not that, if they did come from like a two-parent household or even a divorced household where they still had a good, relationship with both their mom and their dad, that single mom thing, it comes from the content that they're consuming from these guys who are incels and products of single moms. So they hear it, you know what I mean? And then number three, yes, they're miserable and they isolate, you know what I mean? They're isolated. That's two. They're isolating and they're miserable. Like they're not happy. A incel, by definition, is not a happy person. Like I have yet to hear about an incel that's like really happy with his situation. And the incel is a man. You know what I mean? Are there female incels? Look, there's frustrated women, but this is really like a man thing right here. And what I'm talking about is I've met CDL holders, at work and at truck stops. And then as I get to know them, they, like they open up. And then sure enough, I hear like these talking points, that we all know about, right? Oh, never date a single mother, never marry a single mother. The modern woman today is just trash. So you're hearing the same song. So like your red flags are going off. And this guy's a CDL holder, and these incels, like, I mean, not all incels are violent people, but dude, it's there, and they're behind the wheel of a truck. And trucking, it kind of, it could kind of, gravitate towards that person. Like, there's this one troll that I have on my channel, right? And this motherfucker is just weird. I mean, I'm not going to say his name, but what I will say is he has a green icon, and it's not the second comment of this live stream. It's not Eddie Valencia. It's not that, right? Um, but this guy straight up on a live stream came out and said that the reason why he became a truck driver is because he feels like he cannot get a girlfriend and he cannot make friends. That's another thing with these incels is like they're antisocial. So there's really five boxes, right? They have this hostility towards women. They don't like single mothers. They're miserable, they isolate, and they're antisocial. I mean, that goes with the isolation right there, right? It's really those five boxes, six, and they spend a lot of time online. That's give or take, right? If you got the five boxes, hostility towards women, you don't like single moms, you're miserable, you isolate, and you're antisocial. Um, that usually means that you don't have good social skills, that you're kind of socially awkward, which is the reason why you're scaring off women. Like I've always said, if you're scaring me off, if I don't want to hang out with you because you're just so fucking weird, a woman's not going to hang out with you either because we're just people. You know what I mean? So before you try to get a girlfriend, you should probably just be a likable person, right? Don't stop creeping people out with your red pill incel shit. You know what I mean? Because you're pushing people away. Because that kind of shit's weird once you start spouting it, and it's really weird when you hear this shit from like grown men because we think incels are like youngsters in their mom's basement. And dude, I've seen all walks of life spouting this red pill incel shit, right? Look, I'll say this. As far as like red pill content goes on YouTube, about a few years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I fell down that rabbit hole. because I was not just with dating, I was just struggling in life, period. And I was following like two red pill like dating coach channels, and within a few months of it, I just had to check myself, like, hold on, what the fuck? What am I doing? I'm going down this rabbit hole. Like, I know better than this. Like, I'm hearing this shit. And I'm like, no, this is bullshit, right? Here's the thing. Here's how they hook people, right? Some of the shit that they say is obviously true, but then they put all this extra, like, just red pill incel shit in there, and then that's how they hook you, and then that's how they hook like these incels, which are pretty much just like weirdos, and they extract money off of them. Like they build a fan base and then sell them the product, the video behind a paywall, a course, sometimes even T-shirts, like clothes, like physical objects, like clothes, and they make a lot of money. There's a lot of money to be made in this space. I mean, why do you think OnlyFans is so big right now? I just went off on a tangent. But so okay, so we know what an incel is. I don't have to repeat myself. But like I said, in real life, at jobs that I've worked, when I was at Sierra England and at night transportation, and especially right here on YouTube, obviously, right? This is where incels hang out online. I would come across guys that would, start to sing this red pill incel song, right? And they check off all the boxes. And I'm thinking, like, man, trucking is a job that isolates yourself. That's why I got out of it. I didn't like isolating like that. I just don't like that shit. If other people want to do that and this is the profession that they choose, because at the same time I paid off $17,000 worth of bad debt, you know what I mean, and I got myself out from under that hole that I never thought I would be able to get myself out of, right? But once I had that debt paid off and had some money stacked up and had my experience, I was like, dude, this sucks. I do not like being off work and being in this truck, but those incels do. That's literally their thing. And the thing about men is the longer they do this shit, it it's almost like you're building up all this shit and then you're just gonna fucking explode one day. And then that's how we get like these like these shootings and like these mass killers and all that. I guarantee you, if you were to look at a lot of these school shooters, mall shooters, grocery store shooters, just like these mass killers, right? I guarantee you they fit the mold. 9 times, maybe 8 times out of 10, like they fit it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a thing. And do you think trucking can attract that type of a person? I've seen it. I definitely think so. Right. And if so, fuck, you know what I mean? Like people are worried about foreigners, but these incels, most of them are Americans. Most of them were born right here in this country. Let's see. I used to work at Blue. Let's see. I guess Mister by the Mile is leaving ABF. Well, I wish him well. Hopefully, he starts working and he actually, gets back to work, right? And stops, you know. Jesus Christ. You guys hear the kids? That's one thing incels are never going to have kids. You know what I mean? Um, I'm surprised you're not out on the town on a Saturday night. I was out last night. Today, I had to upload the vlog. I shot a vlog. I think, was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I shot a vlog, and today I had to stay home and upload it. And it was a lot of content. It was a lot of footage, so it took all day. And now it's nighttime, so I'm here. I might as well just. And the reason why I wasn't uploading this week, why I barely uploaded vlogs, is because I was training at this job. I was in the truck with another person, and I can't just whip out like my phone and throw a camera in someone's face like, oh hey, I'm a YouTuber, I got to get content. No, dude, people ain't going for that, right? I'm respectful. But now I'm going to be starting my own route, so I'll definitely be vlogging a lot more. Um, that's not red pill though. What, living at your parents' house? No, no, that's the black pill. No, that's just living at your parents' house. Just because you live at your parents' house doesn't mean that you're an incel. No, no, no. That's just that you're just living at your parents' house. Is a specific age group you'd consider miserable or no? Is there a specific age group? Oh, he was asking somebody else. It's weird paying another grown man money to tell you how to talk to women. Well, yes and no. Yes and no, right? Because here's the thing, sometimes guys just don't know. And not everyone comes from social backgrounds like some of us do, where we have, cousins and family members and friends, and we see what they do and we grew up with them, right? And just being with them being our friends, we took a lot of their confidence into our own like style of who we molded ourselves to be, in life. I don't know if I explained that right, but you know what I mean? Like you are who you hang around. And sometimes people hang around, I don't know, just people who don't know how to get women. And that's totally fine. Just because you don't know how to get women, or you struggle with that, that doesn't mean that you're an incel. No, just because you seek advice, that doesn't mean that you're an incel, right? If you come across like a dating coach, it's telling you, dude, work out, lose some weight, and then just, be a respectful gentleman and go up and give a girl a compliment and just talk to her, just make friends. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's not red pill. No, no, no. Red pill is when they start going off on their shit, like bashing single moms, talking about, oh, just all their political shit and like their hatred towards women and how they're always talking about women, and they get into weird shit. I mean, you really got to go down that rabbit hole to find out just how like crazy it gets. Those motherfuckers are psycho, dude. I'm telling you. Um, yeah, it's a scam. Yeah, they're pretty much. I don't know that they're running a scam. A scam is something like what Logan Paul did with this crypto zoo. He said like he was going to release a game, and then he never did, and he just extracted money from this group and then ran, and then just like homeboy with the workman's comp, he just deflected the whole time when people were questioning it, right? That's a scam. You know what I mean? Someone that's getting money, which is pretty much like fraud. I mean, there's no fraud in selling people courses on XYZ if they're dumb enough to pay it. If it's like a course that's not really teaching them anything, if it's just a course, well, they call it a course, but it's really just videos behind a paywall, giving these guys a pat on the back and then making them like bigger incels. You know what I mean? Like saying, "Oh, it's okay. It's not your fault. These women out here are fucked up. It's all their fault." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, society is fucked up. Yeah, you shouldn't interact with people in society. Like, only interact with us in this group, in this red pill incel group, right? That's not really a scam because they're telling you what it is off the bat. What it really is, it's a rabbit hole, and there's a lot of money to be made in that rabbit hole, right? I don't think Richard Cooper really believes a lot of the things that he says. I mean, he's like one of the biggest ones, right? That I hear a lot of these incels bring up. Like I've someone brought up, oh, you should buy Richard Cooper's book or whatever. It's like, dude, in like a live stream that I did a few weeks ago. And hold up, when I look into Richard Cooper, I mean, he's an older guy. He could be just like some old dork incel, but I don't think he's really that stupid. He doesn't come off as a dumb man. He comes off really as a hustler, as a successful content creator, as a businessman. And he sees that there's a market and he exploits that market, and good for him. You know what I mean? But the problem is these guys are in society, man. And in this live stream, we're talking about some of them have CDLs, right? It was mainly the older drivers, older truck drivers that are what you call it, that are miserable. Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, yeah, just walk around a truck stop. Do most of those guys look happy? Most of those guys aren't incels. Most of the truck drivers that you'll see at a truck stop, a lot of them are out there with their wives, right, or with their girl, or it could be uh, um, a working woman, if you get my drift. A lot of them have families and shit. Most of them are not incels, but they're out there. They're definitely fucking out there. No, red pillars aren't incels. Yeah, they are for the most part. Um, I'd say about probably like 90 something percent of red pillars are incels because yeah, dude, there's a lot of overlap right there. You know what I'm saying? Dude, most of these red pillars, right? Maybe not the successful content creators because they make a lot of money, and I'm sure like these top red pill YouTubers, there's a lot of money to be made on YouTube, and I keep telling you guys that way more than trucking or any job can get you, right? And these red pill YouTubers, they make so much money, the top red pill creators, and that's how they pull a lot of women is with their money, right? And then that's why they come out and tell you, oh, to get women, you're gonna have to get rich, you're gonna have to do this and that. You just don't, right? Because there's guys that get out of jail and they have like beautiful women lined up. They don't have shit to offer besides a mouthpiece and a good roll in the sack. So a lot of the shit that these red pillars are saying, it's just stupid, and only an incel would believe it because they just don't know about women like that. So a lot of red pillars are. This guy Ethan is probably so. You see what I'm saying when I talk about these topics, they come out of the woodworks in just about every topic that I speak on, and it looks like we got an incel right here in the chat. You know what I mean? This guy Ethan definitely sounds like an incel, right? This guy's most likely a CDL holder. You got to be aware of that. I mean, because back in the day, around 9/11, we were worried about Al Qaeda, right? Or whoever, terrorists. But these guys, by definition, they're terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, remember Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber? I mean, dude, these guys have acted out. And some of these mass shootings and shooting sprees, dude, I guarantee you they fit the mold. I guarantee you, bro. Um, it don't matter the age. If they've been driving for a couple years and have nothing to show for it, they're the miserable truck stop Karens that sit at truck stops and record people. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, like those guys over there at Bonehead Truckers. Um, you could watch some of those guys. You could watch some of that content, and only a Karen would like be doing the shit that they do. Instead of getting out and helping somebody back into a spot, they're just gonna sit there and record. Like, oh, look how stupid he is. Look how stupid he is. You think someone like that is happy? No, it's a fucking miserable loser in his truck that just wants attention, right? Um, I honestly think the guy at that Bonehead Truckers YouTube channel is a racist. I honestly do. He just comes off as that. He just really fucking does. He won't admit it, but a lot of the shit that he said in these videos, like he'll automatically assume that somebody driving a truck fucked up is a foreigner. Like, oh, no comprende inglés, huh? Like when a truck is flipped over on its side, and dude, that could be a white guy for all you know. You don't fucking know who that was, and he does that like on a consistent basis. And then this other guy that he had on there um, was pretty much he walked up to this Nigerian guy. And was like, "Oh, what country are you from? Nigeria? Oh yeah. Oh well, uh, speaks volume that you're a Nigerian. That's why you're wearing flip flops at the truck stop. You're Nigerian. You know what I mean?" And it was like these two rednecks. So yeah, that shit definitely exists, right? And another thing with these incels, a lot of them, you know, they're about all that like hardcore right wing racist bullshit too. I mean, there's incels of all ethnic groups, but if you follow that group, I mean, racism is definitely in there. You know what I mean? It is. I'm an incel, and I do just fine driving a truck. Oh, so this guy openly admits to being an incel. I mean, dude, why would you want to? Here's the thing. I don't know why you would actually want to identify as an incel. I just don't know, like, why somebody would do that. I mean, look, I mean, you don't have to identify as an incel. If you're someone who struggles with women, I mean, just say that. Because if you identify as an incel, you're pretty much just saying, "Hey, I'm a weirdo." Pretty much, because that's what incels are. They're just fucking weirdos, dude. Dude, an incel is someone who believes that they're like entitled to a woman's body just because they're a man. So why would you want to come out and say that you're an incel, right? They won't come out and say that they believe that. But the shit that they say, it all leads up to it. They're talking about, oh, these women nowadays are not wife material because they don't do this, that, and the third. And dude, these women, dude, you're not entitled for a woman to do this, that, and the third just because you're a guy with, two balls and a schlong, dude. You're not entitled to anything in this life. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. Too much meth in the industry. No, I mean, there's probably some owner operators that do that shit, but if someone is not like with clearinghouse and they're kind of running under the table, which could happen, especially if they're working in the fields and there's like no DOT around. Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. But most truck drivers are clean, right? If you're running the highways, you got to be clean. Meth was a thing back in the day, but you got to be a fool these days to be running the highways on drugs, dude. I mean, you won't just get your CDL taken, but you could end up in jail. And if you get caught with drugs in your semi truck, I mean, that's like a federal truck. So anything you do in a semi truck is like a federal charge, dude. Um, Shout out 530 Chico, California. Chico definitely in the house, way up north. Would you consider yourself an incel living with your parents? No, no, absolutely not. Because I don't identify as an incel. I don't believe in any of the things that they say. Uh Um, Even if I were to struggle to get women, I don't identify as an incel because I don't believe in the things that they believe in. Just because someone is living with their parents, just because someone had to move back home um, to get back on their feet, or they're changing something in life. Like me, I was living in the truck. I didn't want to live in the truck. I had a car, but I gave it away to my cousin because she had wrecked her car and she didn't have a car and she needed it more than I did. So I gave it to her. So I didn't have a car. Right? I had a car, but I just gave it to her for like $300 because she was struggling. And I just wanted to be nice, right? I mean, I had the means, so I helped her out. If I still had that car, it would have been easier for me to find a place. I didn't. And by the time that I was done with trucking, I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'll go back home for like a month or two until I get my own spot. I'll get a job and I'll get my own place. You know what I'm saying? And even when I move out of my parents' house, I'm still gonna have roommates, right? So I'm not really gonna have my own spot. I could get my own spot out here in the Bay, but I'd rather just rent out a room. When you live in places like the Bay Area or New York, I mean, your room is your apartment. So no, no, no. That doesn't make you an incel just because you live with your parents. The incel isn't someone who lives like in the basement or with their parents. No, that's just someone who's either struggling, they're just there just because, like me, like they're restructuring their life. Incel is someone that believes in what incels believe in. They believe in all this weird shit. That's an incel. So no, I would never consider myself an incel because I would never believe in that fucking shit, right? That shit's just weird. They're fucking weirdos. I'm not a weirdo. Big companies pulling cheap freight, putting small companies out of business. They just hire new drivers that don't have to pay, causing accidents, running up insurance rates. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, then that speaks volumes to what you guys are talking about. How a lot of truck drivers are miserable. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was guessing it's the older drivers who are mostly unhappy in trucking. It's everybody. It's everybody. I mean, look at me, dude. I was sick of over the road trucking, and I'm 31. Let's see. Ethan lives at parents' house. He's talking about me here. Lives at parents' house. Bounces from job to job. Obese, ethnic, short. Be careful who you call an incel. Well, what am I? I'm 5'9". So I guess I could be short if I'm 5'9". I thought that was like the standard height. But yeah, I do need to lose some weight. I fucking gained weight out there on the truck, dude. I definitely did. I'll give you that. Um, I got to get back on my healthy shit for sure. I mean, I'm really a gym freak and a health freak, but even right here where I'm at, I just don't like using someone else's kitchen, even if it's like my own family's kitchen. I just don't like using someone else's kitchen like that to like prep meals and cook healthy shit. So, right now I'm not eating the healthiest, but yeah, once I get my own spot, and I have been like, as to my, like, this is what I've been doing lately, right? I've been trying to eat like a medium sized breakfast, like pretty much like 3 square meals a day, and like not snack in between. That's the best that I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's just excuses. I could eat healthier, even if I'm not like fully using the kitchen, because it's not my kitchen, right? I just don't feel comfortable using someone else's kitchen. It's my dad's kitchen, and I just don't feel comfortable using it because it's not mine, right? I'm not paying the fucking bills here. You know what I'm saying? But I could still eat healthier. I could. I gotta get back on that shit. I definitely do need to clean up my act on fucking eating, right? But, ethnic? See? What did I just say? What did I just say? This incel just brought up ethnic? Dude, anyone could be just why'd you have to bring that up, right? Um, no, just because you went from like so how many jobs have I bounced from? Am I a job hopper? I was at CR England for 2.5 years. I tried to go to Martin, that didn't work. And I was at night transportation for like 2 months. And now I'm at this job where I'm going to stay at for a minute, right? I'm going to stay at this job for a second. The only way I would leave this job is if I go to like maybe recology. But then again, I would have to see what the hours are like because I don't want to overwork myself because I'm trying to focus right here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So in the past, what was it? In the past, it was like 3 years, I worked at CR England, night transportation, and this job I'm at right now. Harvest, I don't really count that. That was just a temp job. That was just like a paycheck for like 2.5 paychecks. So I worked at 3 jobs in the past 3 years. The first one I was there for 2.5. I don't think that's a job hopper. No, job hopper is someone. No, trust me, there's some real fucking job hoppers out there. A job hopper is someone that goes from like this mega carrier who worked for like Prime, Schneider, Swift, Knight, who has about like 4 or 5 under their belt in the past like 2 years. That's definitely a thing, right? That's a job hopper. But someone who's working like a job for like 1 to 2 years, and even if they are a job hopper, look, people in the tech industry they job hop. All right, like this whole thing of like getting a job and just sitting there, that's not always the best thing to do because jobs change. You know what I'm saying? The only people that don't want a job hop are folks that are literally out there like doing conventional trucking, like running over the road, or folks that are probably in the construction industry too. Folks that are running over the road, they really want to have one solid trucking company under their belt. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's what you're going to do, I guess then you don't want a job hop. But sometimes, life changes and you just need to find what you want to do. You know what I mean? But no, like I said, living with your parents, that doesn't make you an incel, Ethan. What makes you an incel, like I said, I'll repeat myself, right? Is is if you believe what incels believe. And if you spout that shit, that's what makes you an incel, right? I don't believe that shit. I don't spout their shit. Um, I mean, they're so loud on the internet, so we all know what they believe in, especially if you've dug into them a little bit. I would never fucking believe in their bullshit because they're weirdos. I think a lot of them are like they're potential Ted Bundys. I would never fucking identify as an incel, dude. No. Oh, what the fuck are they talking about? That ain't the dictionary definition. That's not true. An incel is a person who considers themselves unattractive to a woman. You're making up definitions. No, no, you're wrong, dude. You're fucking wrong. An incel is someone, I'm talking about when you really dive into their shit. Now, that might be a reason why they believe in all that shit, but it doesn't matter what led them to being an incel. Once you believe in the things that they believe in, right? You think, um, like women should be attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not attractive to women. When you really dig into their shit, like they think women are the problem. You know what I'm saying? They think like women should be attracted to them. You're not entitled to anything in life. You know what I'm saying? You're just not. It's amazing how whatever topic I pick, they all end up right here in the chat. And I'm a small YouTube channel. I'm nobody. This is fucking crazy. God, man, I wish my friend would come on here with me because it would be a great conversation, especially this. I'm gonna fucking pull teeth to get my homie on here, because this would be great. The guy I'm thinking, he gets a lot of trim. He's always gotten a lot of trim, and man, he's just a wealth of knowledge, especially with dating and this kind of shit, right? Um, I would never date a single mom. I would date a single mom. I don't want nothing to do with the kids, right? But I'll definitely date a single mom because not all single moms want you to be around their kids. A lot of single moms, right? They just want a boyfriend when the kids are with the dad on the weekends. You know what I mean? Not all single moms out there need a man to like take care of their kids and shit. A lot of single moms out there got their shit down straight. You know what I mean? They got good jobs, they got a good relationship with the baby daddy, they got a good family system, you know what I mean? Um, Not all single moms need you as a stepdad. Some of them just want the D. And single moms, they definitely know how to roll in the sack, if you get my drift. You know, why do you think they're single moms? You know what I mean? They're really good in the bedroom. So you'd probably, especially if you're older like me, you'd probably want to date a single mom. It just goes about, you know, how you do it. Like I wouldn't want to be a stepdad. I'm not going to be a stepdad, but let's think about it. Most of the women, the hottest women out there, they all have kids. Most of them. Uh, New drivers really don't have any room to be unhappy because they're fresh starting. They don't know what to expect. Mm, yeah. When I was a new driver, you just have to be like open to the job. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You just have to, it's a new chapter in your life. And if you get that mad that quick, this dude has no idea what he's talking about. I guarantee you, if I was to like um, get this guy on a FaceTime or something, I guarantee you, just like the other guy that I had on this live stream, I guarantee you, he would just verify everything that I'm saying. You know what I mean? Can't listen to this clown speak. You know why he's getting so mad, the incel Ethan, is because I'm hitting everything on the head. And they hate it when they're being called out. And they hate it when people are telling them that they're wrong and that they are fucking weird. They don't like that. You know what I mean? Ethan, you can't use a word and make up a definition. I think that guy's a incel too. Q love, they love because they're on YouTube and come in with unrealistic expectations. Then be surprised when they're not making what they expected. Well, yeah. I mean, well, they come in. New truck drivers come in with unrealistic expectations because of the marketing of these jobs. These jobs say, "Oh, come work for this company. You're going to make X, Y, and Z." And when you really do the math of how much time you're putting into the job, you're making shit, right? They never evolve past it, and that's the problem. Yeah, they never do. The incels, no, dude, they just what they do is they go online and it's like pity parties. It's like, oh, poor me. Like I'm unattractive. Women don't like me. It's never gonna happen. What do you? Yeah. And then it goes into like how these women are the problem. Oh, you know, you got these women who think that they deserve a guy who makes $1 million and this and that. And meanwhile, what are these incels doing? They're just isolating in their truck. So there's a lot of shit going on in the background. Um, Look, I said living with family is probably good, but I don't know if they got kids. I don't know, especially if you're a YouTuber. Like I love my family, but I, if I were to live with family members, it'd have to be people my age who all have jobs and they're pitching in, and it's more of like a roommate situation, right? That's what I'll say. You should be a Walmart driver again. I was never a Walmart driver. That was with CR England. Um, let's see. Listening to a guy who spouts financial and job advice, living at his dad's spare bedroom. How's the new gig? The new gig's pretty cool. The, the new gig, it's chill, it's laid back. It's a good way to get into the post office. Um, it's cool. It's not too far from where I live. The other temp job I was working, it wasn't that far, but it wasn't really that close either. This job is literally two exits away from my house, right? Two and a half, right? Yeah, yeah, two and a half because it's the last turnoff after 238 ends. It's close. The other one, I had to get on like two different freeways, get off and drive like a mile. No, it took, and then after work, it would take like an hour to get home. Right. This new job that I'm working is cake. It's cake. It's really cool. We just deliver mail to the post office, and it's really chill. You get out and socialize. It's really chill. There's a good work life balance there. You can make good money, right, for the work that you're doing, for the amount of time that you're putting in. Um, let's see. Then dipping out. What is the case for owner operators? See, look at his videos. All hate comments in his videos. Nobody respects this clown. Yeah, Ethan's mad, dude. Ethan's really mad, right? That's the thing about these incels, dude. I mean, you can't really help them. But what I'm trying to say is this in this live stream is this. These guys have CDOs. A truck is a dangerous weapon. And you have these guys that believe in all this weird shit and they're CDL holders. And one thing about these incels is you can't really help them at all. There's probably like a small percent that you can, but that community is so fucking big. It's just so big. And it's kind of like the word incel, it's kind of like a new thing. It's only been around for like, I think, less than 10 years, right? And what happens when these guys get older and they never leave that way of thinking? What I think is going to happen, I think we're going to see like a revival of the 1970s serial killers, like the BTKs, Ted Bundy, the Hillside Strangler, the Night Stalker. I think that's what's going to spawn out of these incels as they get older. You know what I mean? I mean, just look at all the missing women out there. I'm willing to bet that there's like some incel who's a serial killer who has never been caught. Like the Green River Killer. I mean, just look at all these serial killers like Ted Bundy. They fit the mold of an incel. They have these hatred towards women. They're weird as fuck. You know what I mean? And like they're targeting women. Like somewhere down the line, something between them and women, it just went off, and it set them off. And what do these incels talk about? Just women, 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 right? And how women are the problem and all that shit. So as these guys get older, like I said, you can't help a lot of these guys. A small percent are gonna deflect and like deflect or defect, or just gonna leave that bullshit behind. They're gonna grow out of it, right? But the problem is as these guys get older, I seriously think we're gonna see history repeating itself, and there's gonna be like this new, like another, like this next wave of serial killers. Right now, it's mass killers, right? It's like school shooters, it's all that. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Right now, it's that. You know what I mean? It's going off, dude. This shit's hella fun. While we were alive. That's fucking hilarious. But dude, I honestly think we're gonna see like the next wave of serial killers. Right now, it's mass killers. It's people going into schools, grocery stores, movie theaters, um, shit like that. Right, doing it all at once, trying to get a big kill count at once. I think because these guys have this, like, their target is women. They have a target of their discussion of their hatred as women, right? These incels. So these guys are going to get older, and we're going to see like the next wave of serial killers, dude. And if you have daughters that are growing up in today's age, I mean, that's a scary thing to think about. It really is, dude. They'll never admit it. Like this Ethan guy, he'll never admit it. But yeah, that's a real fucking thing. Um, let's see. You don't want to play stepdaddy? Nah. I wouldn't do that shit. Let's see. Um, for sure. This guy blames everyone but himself when things don't go his way. I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. They're talking about what happened at Martin. Like when people say that, they're talking about like this one video I did when no, it was two when I was talking about Martin, when I brought up the Martin situation. I think it was two things. The guy was really fucking weird. He was really weird. And he was going into like quite detail. I should have studied my pre-trip more. I should have studied my pre-trip more. I said that in that video. But this guy was just fucking off, dude. He was off. When ever since he started picking us up from the hotel, he was just very fucking angry, dude. Everything about him was just mad. I mean, he pulled up in the shuttle van and we were like, "Good morning." He's like he's like that, just looking at us like, "Oh," right? And then one guy was late and he came up to us like, "Where's the other guy at? Do you guys know what time he was supposed to be here?" It's like, "No, dude, we're here. We don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Right? We didn't say it like that, but we're like, "No." And then like this guy, like he's like flashing and orientation, like literally, like he's saying, "Oh, when your steer tire pops, do you know what you need to do?" And it's been a while, right? We've been on the road, but sometimes you forget shit. And we're all saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that." And the guy, like his face literally got red and he's shaking his head. He's like, "You need to accelerate." Like that. Like he fucking shouted. And even the other guy from Martin behind the desk looked at him like, "What the fuck?" So this guy was just off. You know what I mean? And could he have been like some racist dude? Because he kept like making these comments about me being from California more than once. And that's like an indicator that like he's probably like some right wing guy, you know what I mean, that just doesn't like Californians. And, a lot of them are racist. Let's just keep it real. So I think it was a mixture of both. It was my fault and definitely a possibility of him, right? Because the shit that he was asking me was just fucking. I talked to a lot of other truck drivers, and they're like, "No, dude, this guy was going way overboard with this pre-trip. Not just asking shit about what was under the hood, but like you had to do the pre-trip, and not just Mm, is that part of yeah, it's all a part of the pre-trip. You had to do the pre-trip and hook up to the trailer exactly how he wanted it. And it was just fucking unnecessary. It was really unnecessary. For example, he said one reason why he failed me is because when I hooked up to the trailer and I did my tug test, I didn't steer left and right with my tug test. And most truck drivers I talked to, they said they've done their whole career and they've never done that. And that's bullshit. Right. And he got mad because when I hooked up to the trailer before I did the tug test, I got out and went under the trailer and I checked my fifth wheel that the handle was in and that I was locked around the kingpin. I was about to get back in and get like my hammer and my gloves and my air pressure gauge for the tires. And I was going to do a tug test and begin my trip and turn on my lights and do all that, right? But every time I hook up to a trailer, I automatically get out and I check that I can visually see that I'm connected. And he said, "Oh, you got out of that truck. You almost failed." Right. And he ended up failing me because he wanted me to hook up and do a tug test before I got out of the truck. And he's just carrying shit like that. So this guy was on a fucking power trip. He was a weirdo. So no, I don't blame only other people. It was both, right? I could have studied the pre-trip more. Yeah, definitely I could have. You know what I'm saying? These incels are just mad because I'm fucking spitting facts right here on their little incel clique, and they don't like being called out. They don't like it. You know what I mean? Because this is how incels, just like most simpletons, right? They're simpletons, but they're simpletons in their own incel way. They're wired the way that they wired themselves online with their incel shit. So when someone like me comes online and calls them out and calls them like, "Yeah, you guys are believing in weirdo shit," their programming goes "Bah, bah, 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 bah." It's too much for them to input. The input is just too much for them, and their hard drive is overheating and they're getting mad. And that's what this Ethan guy's doing because he said himself that he was an incel. And why you would identify as an incel in the first place, fuck, that's beyond me, dude. I mean, that speaks volume right there. Incel is probably fucking like like a step up from an incel is probably a chomo, honestly, right? And we've seen that with Pearl, why she got kicked off because she said that 16-year-olds were hotter than like 26-year-olds. Like they're pushing chomo shit. So for the fact that you would say that you're an incel, that speaks volume, right? And I'm hitting the nail on the coffin with the things that I'm saying here, and he's getting fucking mad. You know, disagree with him. Yeah, yeah. He's in. This guy said he was an incel, dude. It's crazy. You cannot say uncle anymore. Um, He definitely likes being a YouTuber. Yeah, I really like being a YouTuber. It's a fun hobby, and you can make a lot of money, right? That's why I came back and tried to get a job that doesn't require so much of my time, so I can focus on YouTube. His channel is getting out there. A lot of what he says about trucking is absolutely true. Um, whether it's true or not, this is just the way that I see things. That's all it is. I never said that I was an expert or anything. That I'm just reporting on my life. And, it's been a big part of my life. That's all. Um, hit like a wig of Choppas. What up, content? What's up, AGJ? Thank you for the thank you for the thumbs up. Let's see. Would be cool if you could keep up with the comments during your live streams. You're always like 10 minutes behind. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Um, look, I'm not like pushing like money or anything, but like when the chat gets this busy, I mean that's why people do like super chats. I know that sounded kind of fucked up for for me to say that, but I mean that's what happens. Like if it's not a super chat, that's just the way it works. I'm gonna go down the line. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry about that. Uh, let's see. See, now I got to scroll back up because it keeps scrolling back down, right? So yeah, I'm like probably more than 10 minutes behind. You know what I'm saying? Living with family is good to a certain extent. If your situation living with your family is cool, like if you got cousins around your age and you guys are all single and you guys are working, and even if a few of y'all got like your girlfriend or your boyfriend living in the house and you're all pitching in, you guys are saving money. If everyone gets along, or if you got to move back to your parents' house, for like two months just to get back on your feet, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in that at all. Uh, you like, I don't know what that is. Drizzy got swole. Drizzy got soul. The trucking industry is definitely full of gaslighting. I quickly learned to milk it and get what you need out of it before it uses you and drains you. Um, yeah, gaslighting. I don't know what you mean by the trucking industry is full of gaslighting. I'm kind of confused there, right? I mean, I know what gaslighting means. I don't know. I don't get what you're saying by it's full of gaslighting in trucking. I don't really get that. History repeating itself. I did OTR. I did my OTR. That chapter is done. I'm local. Eventually, that chapter will be done. I've already. I have my exit strategy. That's great. That's great. I mean, that's something that people talk about all the time. Definitely have an exit strategy in this game. You know what I mean? Let's see. Something in case one day I can't drive anymore. Yeah, I mean, what? Like have a guard card or something, or start like a business on the side. Whatever it is, dude. Always have an exit strategy or a side hustle, something that you can fall back on. Right? Old incels or a ticket time bomb. Stay as far away from Democrats as you can. A lot of them are Republicans too. It's not just Democrats. A lot of they come from all walks of life, all ethnic backgrounds, all political backgrounds. What I will say about incels is they tend to be more right wing, but anyone can be an incel. They got to fit that mold. They got to check off the five boxes. They got to have a hostility towards women, a real hostility towards single moms. They got to be miserable, isolate, and what was the last one? I forgot what the last one was. But you can rewind the live stream a little bit, and if you see me throwing up the five, that's when I was going off of the five check marks, right? Augustine, do you like Trump? Um, do I like Trump? I voted for him in the last election. I think there was some sus activity going on with this last election for sure because they paused the voting in the middle of the night. Um, some of the shit that he says is stupid. Some of the shit that he says is spot on. He's not a perfect person. Neither is Biden. I think Biden isn't really healthy. I don't think he should be president. I think like just as far as if you're going to go off of health and who's in office right now, they might as well just give it to Kamala because Biden, he's just not healthy. Right? He looks like he has like early signs of dementia, or maybe like he has full on dementia, but they're just shooting him up with so much drugs that he's able to just put on a show, right? And see, and look how I said, you asked, do I like Trump? And then Ethan, the incel, who's mad about what I'm saying, as an insult, he said, no, he voted for Biden. You see how I just said the incels, they're mainly more right wing. This Ethan guy, he's most likely right wing because he said that kind of like as an insult. Even if I voted for Biden, I mean, who gives a fuck, right? Old incels implode. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? These incels are going to get older, and I think we're going to see because there's so many of them. The big pot of incels right now, they're youngsters, right? They're younger, and they're all they're going to do is get older. And as they get older, and they don't change the way that they think, and they continue to isolate and live this incel weirdo lifestyle, to where not just they don't have any women, they just don't have any friends besides online, besides other incels. What happens then is they become more angry, more isolated, more pissed off, more, to the point where they're just going to explode, right? And then that's when I think we're going to see another wave of serial killers, of Ted Bundy's, and who was the other one? The guy in Milwaukee, Jeffrey Dahmer, right? We're going to see a new wave of these motherfuckers popping off. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I mean, we're already seeing mass killings everywhere. So it's not a crazy thing to expect that to happen in the future. I got to see if I could find reviews from other people about the guy at Martin. If you want, it's nothing really, right? I mean, there's angry old man. I mean, look what you guys are talking about. You guys are saying the angriest truck drivers are old people, and this guy was old. I mean, he's an angry old truck driver. Leave him alone. Um, they're a dime a dozen in the industry. Hate people like that. Maybe he was ex-military. Who knows? What I do know is the guy at Martin was really fucking angry. I can tell you that he wasn't happy about life, right? Uh, could have been an ex-drill instructor, but I don't know. I don't think a drill instructor is that mad about life, right? I mean, most drill instructors I don't know any drill instructors. Let's see. Ethan, Matt. Ethan, Matt's son, want to be friends? Yeah, there you go, Harold. Be Ethan's friend. Ethan definitely needs some friends. Real life. If you're going to be his friend in real life, right? Not online. He has enough of that already. You need to be his friend in real life. One of my dispatchers at Swift and Lathrop was always uptight. It's a thing, man. A pre-trip is a pre-trip. You've been driving for 3 years. See it scroll down all the way. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Oh, see, I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Uh, 3 years. He was an ex-military guy. I don't know if he was ex-military or not. All right. What city was your Martin orientation in? It was in Wilsonville, Oregon. It was in Oregon. It was crazy, dude, because when I made that video, I had people saying, "Oh, you should have came down here to Martin Transport in Arizona or in Southern California. Things would have been different." And they said things would have been different in Arizona or Southern California. So I don't know. Maybe I think so too. Because that guy, I'm telling you, man, that guy was off, dude. That guy was definitely fucking off. He was a control freak, dude. It's a dipstick. Drop down and give me 20. Yep. One of those motherfuckers for sure, dude. Steering on a tug test. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, this guy can't do a proper pre trip. He's talking about me. You don't have to turn during a tug test. See, that's what I was saying. Even JT, who's like trolling on me right now, he said the same thing. Stirring during a tug test. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you want to get like real technical and really want to get like specific, like a Karen about a tug test. Like you tug forward, then you tug to the left and the right. I don't know. I've never done that shit at CR England. I wasn't trained to do that at trucking school. And CR England was a decent trucking school. It was. Who knows? I'm over it. I mean, it's history. Uh, Avato, I skip the weight skill all the time. You skip the weight skill all the time. You got to be careful, homeboy. They could pull you over. You know, you got to know which ones you can skip and which ones you can't. I automatically do a tug test as soon as I hear the locking jaw onto the kingpin, then get out and connect the electric and air lines to the trailer. Maybe I should do that too. Right. Study for a pre-trip, and you've been driving for 3 years. Let's see. Uh, exactly what do you need to study? Basic shit if you've been driving for 3 years. Well, well, he asked me how the fuel water separator worked, and I'm sure that's something that I learned in like an in-depth pre-trip. But when you're on the job, you don't. When you're doing a pre-trip on the job, and if your truck's always in and out of the shop, you don't always do the shit that you learned, like every little fucking detail, right? That you learned in trucking school. I mean, for the most part, you don't even have time to do that shit, right? You don't have time, like once, especially if you're local, you get to work and you do like the basic shit. You check your tread depth, your make sure that your tires are inflated properly with the air gauge. Check your kingpin, check your connections, check your slide and tandem pins, make sure that the handle's in the right place for the slide and tandem pins and for your landing gear, your lights. Make sure that the vehicle you're driving has up to date um, if the stickers on it, if need be. Make sure that the door is open. Make sure that you got oil. Make sure that there's no leaks under it, like under the truck. Make sure that your lights are working. That's pretty much it. If anything is obvious, you're definitely going to know about it. Make sure that all your gauges are working. Make sure that you know you can back into the dock and like bleed the system, and then let the air pressure build up again. I mean, this guy was fucking like he was pointing to refrigerant lines and asking me about like, oh, what's this line? And it was like a refrigerant line. You see what I'm saying? And then he would say, oh, so you see the condensation coming off that refrigerant line? So you need to know the difference between that and a spill because it was like going on the leaf spring or whatever on this Freightliner. And he was like, you need to be able to identify the difference between water and an actual like oil spill right there on that leaf spring. Just little shit like that. You see what I'm saying? I forgot how the fuel water separator worked. You don't check that on a day to day. You're especially if your truck's in the shop. You know what I'm saying? And he was like saying like I need to know how to take the fuel water separator apart. Dude, the shop does that shit. Before you do that, you're supposed to call a breakdown. You're not a fucking mechanic. That's the kind of shit that this guy was like hounding me about, right? So with me studying the pre-trip, I guess I should have studied like every little fucking detail that this guy wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like the fuel water separator, like a refrigerant line. I guess, yeah, technically that's a part of a pre-trip because it's everything under the hood. But dude, you don't do that shit. You don't do you don't do shit like that on a day to day, right? When you're out there fucking making money and trucking, I mean, it's go 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 go, dude. If you come to your dispatch office and you tell them, oh, there's condensation coming from the refrigerant line and it might be a leak. I was confused because I looked at the leaf spring. They're gonna look at you like you're fucking like you're wasting time. They'd be like, look, dude, this load's due in about an hour. Get the fuck on the road. Right? That's what I was talking about. This guy was being a Karen. I'm telling you, bro, this guy was fucking off, dude. So that's the answer to that, JT. Um, what part of Canada do you live in? I don't live in Canada. I live in the US. I live in California. Trump knows how to bring business to America and tells the truth when the truth is needed. Uh, yeah, I mean, gas was cheaper when Trump was in office. Studying, studying for IBEW aptitude test, struggling a bit. Well, study that test. You better study that shit. What? IBEW. They're hiring in April. Oh shit, that's next month. Huh. I would work for IBEW, but I don't have a car right now. I'd have to drive to a job site. Before I go to IBEW, I'd probably go to Muni. Biden is forgetful. Yeah, Biden's sick, dude. He has that dementia. That's why I don't give a fuck about any politics. Yeah, it's stupid. Trucking is what you make of it. What's up, JR? See, I'm catching up on these comments. There will be ups and downs, and trucking is what you make of it. It's stupid. That was a dumb fucking comment that Mike T put up. He damn near had a whip under the. Let's see. I think Ethan Matson left. Yeah, good. Hopefully he did. Right. Hopefully he took some of the criticism that I gave him and he's really thinking about it. Maybe he's. I hope he's reevaluating things, but he's an incel, so he's probably not. He probably just went either to bed. He's probably whacking off, or he's on a video game, or he's on one of his incel red pill channels. I wish him the best though. I'm an ex-military and I love life. Military has nothing to do with it. It was just that guy's personality. Maybe he'll change as he gets older. He'll relax. No, that guy was already older. I mean, the thing about old people, bro, they usually don't change. They're set in their ways, right? My grandpa's like that. My grandpa, he is stubborn. My grandpa, I love him to death, but he is a stubborn man, bro. Ote. Yeah, Mike T's an idiot. Maybe the guy has Tourette's. Oh, maybe. But no, he didn't seem like he had Tourette's. He just seemed like he was a dick. Like if he was a cop, he'd be like a dickhead cop. The guy that was over there at Martin. Is it true that backing in with the shorter trailer is harder? Well, so how it works is this. If you're in a sleeper with the 53-foot trailer, I was told it's CR England. It's kind of confusing that it takes about 10 feet for the back of your tandems to react to your steering in your cab, right? Let me say that again. What CR England told me is when you're backing a unit, right, a tractor trailer, and you're at like an angle and you need to like maneuver or whatever, and you're backing, it takes about 10 feet for your tandems to react to your steering. That's what I was told. So when you're in a smaller trailer, the reaction is quicker, and that could throw you off if you're used to bigger equipment. If you're used to bigger equipment, yeah, I'm sick for sure. Ugh, dude, I hate the winter, bro. I'm getting sick. I was going to go to the city tomorrow. I still might. Let's see. If you see fluids around the truck, definitely give it some attention. Let's see. My job has 36, 40, and 50s. When I did the road test, got to back in the 36 footer and had to go slow, like I was at school again. Yeah, because those trailers react quick. I watched one guy try to back up. Jesus Christ, what is going on? So when you talk like this, it brings up all your gases. It's like you're venting your gut, right? So if you're sick, talk. I watched this one guy try to back up a pup trailer at Love's for 40 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, that guy had a power trip issue. I know what you mean about cops. He probably just had it out for you. That that has happened to me more times than I can remember. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes these people just don't want you working for their company or like out of their yard. But Martin's a big company; it's pretty much a mega carrier. But he probably thought I was going to be working out of that yard, which I might have been. And I don't want to be in fucking Oregon, anyways, right? Has anyone ever pulled a handle while you were parked and you found out you weren't attached? Uh, no, but I've had weird shit happen, like the truck rock, and it's not like an earthquake. So someone could have been fucking with my truck. Uh, for the most part, those fifth wheels are usually under pressure, so it's hard to pull the handle, but it could be done. Because every now and then, when I go to park the trailer, I could pull the handle out pretty easy. So if I could do it, they could do it. I was going to say and make sure people understand the difference between introvert and incel. They are not the same thing. Incel is a whole other deal. Um, came around like 15 years ago. Well, the thing about incels and introverts is because is incels like that's one of the boxes that you have to check off. Like they isolate, which means they're introvert. They're antisocial. They have this hatred towards women, especially towards single mothers. And there's one more. I went over it, right? But even those four, if you got those four, right? If you're an introvert, like which means like you're antisocial, you have this hatred towards women, hatred towards single mothers. You're a fucking incel, and like you're diving into this shit. You're an incel. How did your date go last night? It wasn't really a date. I went to this restaurant that I knew this girl worked at, or last time I seen her, she was working there. And now that I'm back home, I wanted to let her know, hey, I'm back. So it wasn't really a date, but like I said, you plant that seed, right? Uh, I ain't looking for no girlfriend. I just want to let her know, girl, I'm back, right? What's up? I was gonna say, yeah. So an incel, for the most part, they're introverted. They don't like socializing. They're antisocial. Now, an introvert doesn't just because someone's an introvert doesn't mean that they're an incel. But incels are usually introverts. No, I just put pressure on the kingpin so they can't pull it. Plus, I check every morning during my pre-trip. Yeah, I mean, you always got to check your fifth wheel. I poke at you sometimes, but I think you handled the Martin guy quite well. Yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't explain myself in the video like that, but either way, on YouTube you get trolls, right? Do you watch Bonehead Truckers? That video he uploaded today was crazy. A guy wanted to throw a pee bottle at a guy blocking the fuel island. No, not really. I don't really like those guys at Bonehead Truckers. A lot of them seem like they're old, angry, pissed off truck drivers, and that's not to say that they point out the fact that there's a lot of unskilled trucking out there. But dude, a lot of those guys, bro, get out and help somebody who's backing in before they hit your truck or before they hit someone else's truck. What are you doing recording them? An accident's about to happen. Get out of your truck and help them. But no, oh, they're boathead truckers. Fucking idiots. I don't support motherfuckers like that. Stupid. Um, look, a smaller trailer should be very easy to back in, plain and simple. Well, I mean, if you're going from a 53 to a 26-foot trailer or a 30-something foot trailer, that's going to be different, right? So yeah, you say that now, but when you're in that situation, that thing's running away from you, right? I mean, you went from fucking like a mamba to a pecker. Shit's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Just checked. Introverts mean shy. Yeah. Um, whether they turn quicker or not should be a walk in the park. Not always. I saw the Martin video too. Uh, from that time until now, you handled it well. It was just funny watching you job hop and read comments on your videos. Yeah, I mean, I went from a few jobs, but it was only three. In the past 3 years, I've only worked at three jobs. If it wasn't for night transportation and the job that I'm at now, it would have only been two jobs. I don't really think I'm job hopping like that. I'm going from job to job, but I don't think that classifies as like job hopping. There's motherfuckers out there that are really job hopping, that are going from this company to that company, all in the same year, and that's annoying, dude. Looking for work is annoying, but you're a hustler. You always got to be looking for the next opportunity. So, in a sense, you always have to be job hopping. That's why I say move to a big city like San Francisco or New York. You're going to job hop, dude. You always got to be looking for the next best thing. It is what it is, dude. That's the way I look at it. People call it job hopping. If you're going to be an over the road truck driver, yeah, you probably don't want to job hop. But if you're a hustler and you're in a big city, you better be fucking job hopping. I saw the Martin video too. Let's see. My car is really hard to back up. I can't park my car in the dock. You should have boxed the race. This guy. No, 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 no. He was an old man. He was an old angry man. Um, he probably just needs to retire, right? Even if there's like an old angry racist motherfucker calling me all kinds of names, it's best to just leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are you gonna do by whooping his ass? Nothing. Go to jail? Nah. You got to be better than that. Let's see. I can't park my pickup for the life of me, but I have semis down to a T. All these fools calling him a job hopper, but he lasted almost 3 years at CR England. Nobody lasts that long at CR England. Uh, yeah, dude, I guess I could say this now, dude. When I left CR England, dude, there was this one dispatcher chick that got hired. Oh man, dude, it was about time for me to leave, bro. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up this live stream. Thank you everybody for coming, and I wanted to bring attention to this. Right? Does trucking attract incels? And these live streams are amazing, dude. These live streams are really amazing. Every time I start these live streams, somewhere in like late beginning and especially in the middle of it, like a big juicy burger, I get these motherfuckers that come into the chat and they're exactly the topic of discussion. It's crazy. Maybe it's because I'm labeling these things right, right? Maybe it's because of that. Nobody lasts long in England. England is only for the strong individual. I mean, some people are making money at CR England, right? If you're cool with living that hardcore trucking life, you can make money at a mega carrier. The way to make money at a mega carrier, like CR England, is you got to be you got to be a mentor. You got to mentor as many students as you can. You got to be recruiting for them and getting referral bonuses, and you got to be out there. You can barely be home, like be home every other month, and you'll make over $100,000 at CR England. I know people that make that much money at CR England, and they work for it. They definitely fucking work for it, right? And kudos to them. When you do the math, they're not really making 100,000 if you do the math on how much time they're putting in, but on paper they're making 100,000, right? So you got to give it to them. Um, how did I get on that topic? Oh yeah, calling me a job hopper. But yeah, these live streams are amazing because it's kind of like I get to leave trucking for a little bit and talk about anything I want to talk about on these live streams because these topics, they're related to everything, right? I mean, isn't it amazing? We had an actual incel in this chat. I just find that amazing. We got another one. This guy JT. Oh yeah, they're vacuuming. I got to get up off this thing. So yeah, thank you for stopping by, and we'll do this again sometime. Probably tomorrow, and it's most likely going to be loud in the background again. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys later. You said Walmart private fleet drivers only make 14 an hour. when it's all said and done. That's crazy. Yeah, if you do the math for how much time that they're putting in for their sleeper berth and all that, how they barely come home, yeah, they're not making a lot of money. Peace out, guys. I'll see you later. It's fucking wild, huh?